But nobody who's watched the videos and all of the angles of the shooting of Renee Nicole Good buys the story Trump world is trying to sell. And nobody outside of Trump's cabinet seems to be willing to go along with it. Today, MS Now was first to report that at least 6 career officials at the DOJ's Civil Rights Division have now resigned in protest in response to the decision not to investigate the circumstances of this ICE-involved shooting. And those resignations include several top leaders, including the chief, deputy chief, and acting deputy chief of the section that investigates police killings. This is the biggest mass resignation of DOJ officials since the administration dropped its investigation of Eric Adams back in February. Now, MS Now has also confirmed reporting from the New York Times that another 6 federal prosecutors, these ones from the U.S. Attorney's Office in Minneapolis, have resigned over the DOJ's push to get them to investigate Renee Nicole Good's widow. Those resignations include Joseph H. Thompson, the second in command at the Minnesota U.S. Attorney's Office, who I should note, just for context here for everyone, had previously been Trump's pick for acting U.S. attorney, and who worked on the team that investigated Joe Biden's handling of classified documents under Robert Hur. Remember that? He was on that team. I mean, not really someone Trump can claim was a deep state liberal of any sort. So career prosecutors aren't buying Trump's lies, and neither is the American public. Chris and I were just talking about this. A new poll out today from YouGov and The Economist finds that nearly 70% of Americans have seen the video of Renee Nicole Good's death, and another 22% have heard about it. Now, another poll out today from Quinnipiac finds that as many as 82% of voters have seen the video. And those same polls also found that those who responded believe that the ICE officer was not justified in shooting Renee Nicole Good by an 18 to 20 point margin. YouGov finds that Americans think ICE actually makes Americans less safe, not more safe, by a 13-point margin. And Quinnipiac finds that voters disapprove of the way ICE is enforcing immigration laws by a 17-point margin. YouGov even found that 46% of Americans now support abolishing ICE entirely, as opposed to just 43% who oppose abolishing ICE. And that's the most support for abolishing ICE that any public poll has ever found since ICE was created back in 2003. As polling expert G. Elliott Morris points out, even back in 2020, at the height of the protests over law enforcement in this country, people still opposed abolishing ICE by a 17-point margin. Now, public sentiment has swung so far against ICE that for the first time, more people say we should get rid of the agency than keep it. That is significant. Whatever you think about abolish ICE as a policy or slogan, the shift itself is remarkable. But if you look at what is happening on the streets of cities like Minneapolis, it's really not hard to see why Americans are moving in that direction.
Don't touch her! Don't touch her!
Shut the door. Sis, I'm not even touching nobody. Get your hands off of me.
Stay back! Stay back! What did he do to you? Stay back! What did he do to you? Hey, stay back! Do not put your vehicle in here! Get back!
I'm not resisting! I'm not resisting! I'm not resisting!
Hey, you guys need to back up! Stand back!
Those are just some of the scenes from Minneapolis, just some of them. And we have those scenes because people were brave enough to capture them with their video cameras. Sometimes they're reporters, but a lot of times they're just average citizens. And they're sharing them with the public so that people can know what is happening there. The American people can see, thanks to all of those people, what ICE is doing with their very own eyes. They are making it clear they don't approve of what ICE is doing.